Out with the old, in with the new. Welcome to Leeds Rhinos TV and welcome to Headingley Carnegie Stadium. As you can see behind me are the remnants of our beloved South Stand. In this episode we focus solely on our famous club's rich heritage. We speak with Gary Hetherington about his time at the club and the building work going on at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. We go behind the cameras with Danny Maguire on the set of the new film As Good As It Gets and chat about his time with the club. Who lives in a house like this? Rhinos TV Cribs launches as we see where our players live. As part of the new development, we follow the progress of the John Holmes statue with a special update from his brother Phil. And with the end of another era upon us, Jamie Jones Buchanan catches up with Rob Burrow as he picks his Rhinos 1-13. So this is what the stadium looks like now. Let's go chat with Gary Hetherington to see what the plans are for this stadium. We can't talk about heritage without speaking to the man himself, Gary Hetherington. Gary, can you tell us why we're here and where we are today?
Yes, we're here at Pontefract Golf Club, Pontefract District Golf Club, which is very much in the heart of rugby league territory. In fact, I think the first hole is just about in Featherstone, and if you go right to the other end of the course, the sixth hole is just about straddles Castleford. So today's golf day is the fourth annual golf day, actually, charity golf day, where all the proceeds are donated to the local Prince of Wales Hospice, and it's supported by rugby league clubs, all the local clubs, and people associated with rugby league in this area. So we've got the past two winners, Wakefield Trinity, bidding for a hat-trick of successes. Castleford, Leeds Rhinos have got teams in this. We've got York Rugby League Club, Featherstone Rovers, and the teams tend to be populated by both current players and former players.
That's brilliant. So in terms of the club, tell me originally what made you come to Leeds Rhinos and invest in the club?
Oh, that's a long time ago, isn't it? That's real heritage, is that? That's back in 1996 in actual fact. So our first season was 1997. It's 21 years we've had at Leeds Rhinos, and that was myself and Paul Caddick, of course. And as a former player, I recognise the potential that the Leeds Rugby League Club have had for over a century, of course, and so it was an exciting venture for Paul and myself back in 1996 to take on the challenge of restoring Leeds Rugby League team that will later to become the Rhinos, of course, and also the challenge of Headingley Stadium as well, both the rugby and the cricket, which was a terrific challenge, but one that we were enthusiastic about.
What would you say has been the biggest highlight of those 21 years at the club?
Oh, that's a tough question, is that? We've appeared in over 20 major finals and won, it's been a golden decade for the club, so many successes on the field, so many developments off the field as well. The building of the Carnegie Stand, the development that's about to happen is going to be an exciting time as well. So yeah, to actually pick, you want me to pick one out? Well, that's a real tough challenge, is that. I suppose the pinnacle, we won the Challenge Cup back in 1999 for the first time in 22 years. We won the Grand Final at Old Trafford in 2004, the first time the team had won, become champions since 1961. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, so a long time to go back. I mean, there were periods between when Leeds won competitions that had the title of champions, but that was probably just as significant an event. But probably the pinnacle is the World Club Challenge, to be acclaimed the best team in the world, and we've achieved that on three separate occasions, against Manly, against the Melbourne Storm, but probably the first one against the Canterbury Bulldogs, and that was played at Elland Road at Leeds United. I think there were about 38,000 fans there, and for the club to win it for the first time in front of the Leeds Rhinos fans in Leeds was a significant achievement for the club, great for the city as well. So if I had to just pick one out, it would have to be that one.
So thinking about the South Stand, everybody wants to hear about what's happening, the development of the South Stand and the North Stand. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, that's all on track. We've now demolished the South Stand. That's just about disappeared. And work to rebuild that and put the new structure will start immediately. At the same time, we'll be demolishing the North Stand, the main stand that overlooks both the rugby and the cricket. And once again, once that's demolished, it'll look a strange place, will Headingley, without both the South Stand and the main stand, the North Stand. 65% of the rugby facilities will have disappeared by the middle of October, and that'll look really, really strange. But then, of course, all the rebuild begins. And we'll be building the new South Stand, which will be, the structure will be up for the start of next season, but of course it won't be finished. And rebuilding the entire North Stand, which overlooks both the rugby ground and the cricket ground. In the meantime, we will put a temporary covered stand overlooking the rugby ground for next season. And then when the rest of the structure is completed, we'll take that away and finish it off. So that's the time scale we're looking to. It's going to be all throughout 2018, so a pretty busy time and an exciting one. We've got 127 years of rugby at Headingley history and heritage to celebrate and to showcase to the people of Leeds. So it's so important is that knowing about your history, knowing about your past helps you to plan your future. And we've been able to, through a terrific group of volunteers, our heritage group, who do so much research and so many terrific projects. We want to bring Headingley alive going into the next decade, not only with the new facilities, but recapturing the great heritage and memories that have given so much pleasure to people.
So as well as all the memories that you've been telling me, I've heard that you actually met your wife Kath at Leeds Stadium. Tell me a bit about that. That's really exciting.
Is it really? Yeah, well, so many memories of the South Stand, the North Stand, the stadium per se. You know, having played there in the 70s and been able to sample that atmosphere. I've been actually stood in the South Stand on occasions.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Watched games from the South Stand and, of course, from my regular haunt in the North Stand and the cramped up seats in there. So I've got so many good memories. Most of them are good memories. But I suppose if you had to pick out one special one, it's the one that you refer to. It's actually meeting who was to become my wife, Kath, at Headingley. Yeah, we both attended a Leeds reserve game. I think it was one Wednesday night. It was Leeds A team versus Bramley. And I went with my best friend, who was at the time was Steve Ferris, who was playing for Bramley. And I went just to watch the game and to go with him. And Kath went with her younger brother, Stephen, who at the time was playing for Leeds. She went to watch him. And we were both there within 200 or 300 people at the game, stood on the paddock, which is the paddock as is now, or with the seatings there now. It didn't used to be seating, it was a terrace. I ended up getting chatting and got to know each other. And from there we were ultimately to meet on a regular basis and ultimately marry. So it doesn't come any more romantic than that, does it? Meeting at Headingley.
Thank you for your memories, Gary. That is incredible to hear that you met your wife there at the stadium. Before the South Stand got torn down, we caught up with some players and some former players on their South Stand memories.
Coming as a young kid, and so my family were mainly football, so I was the first person really to get interested in rugby league, and watching my idols like Gary Schofield, Ellery Hanley, Franny Cummins, people like that playing, donning the shirt and gracing the turf. Got some fantastic memories of sitting on the wall down there.
It was phenomenal to know that you had the support, and as I say, there's some pretty good judges have stood on these terraces, and that you knew that you'd get 18, 19, 20, 22,000 in the Leeds Bradford days, and you knew it was just a really unique atmosphere.
One of my favourite games was probably the 2015 semi-final here at Saints, and obviously we had some players retiring then, but the noise and even the amount of people that stayed after the game, it was pretty electric, and it's a special place special stand to play in front of.
The noise that day was absolutely incredible. It was electrifying, and the way we come home and beat them, and then myself and Kylie just stayed out here, and the South Stand stayed full, and I've never been as emotional in a game. You just see that all the South Stand stay full, and I think for me with the South Stand is that I'm probably only 2 friendships away from a lot of people within this South Stand, and a lot of people I know directly, so it's pretty personal to me, is this stand and the people in it. That day, you know, it brought a tear to my eye coming round and just feeling the energy and just the atmosphere that everyone gave me, and how much everyone appreciated myself and Kylie and Kev playing at the club and realising it was our last game here.
I think any time you were down the side of the field, you could feel the support. You know, it was like you could feel the heat coming from in here, and yeah, it's a great place.